Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Malkin with me, Bring It On. Let's proceed beyond the tutorial into the forest. Malkin. Written, illustrated, scored, and designed by Zach Holbrook. With additional animations by Nathan Halstein. Made with the Iceblink 2 engine, the Iceblink team includes Jeremy, Carl, Pongo, Dorotine, and Zach Holbrook. In memory of William C. Mullen. And my more having would be as a sauce, to make me hunger more. Macbeth. The youth will seem ungrateful, or insouciant. I shrug it off because he's just a kid. Enchanted Rock. Prologue. The woods of Dudal, 2 months ago. She's gone. She's gone. I wither. You. Why are you here? Have you come to mock me? We come to question you. To know your will. See the puzzle in your rotten heart. So tell us what you want. To kill the one who killed her. And what will vengeance get you? Blood to make me whole. And what good comes from wholeness? Another heart to dwell in. The spirits, for spirits they were, the immortal kami of the woods, laughed. Too much. Too much. Too much. Go away. Be gone. I loathe you. But the spirits are already gone. An old witch had been standing by, invisible and unnoticed, as the beings conversed. When the spirits left, she left too, riding the night air of June back to her cottage. The grass hardly bent as she passed, and the trees hardly shook. She'd heard enough. She knew what she had to do. That was a couple months ago. We're currently in August. Donald stood in front of the witch's house. He was nervous. His crow, Pharaoh, nudged him with his head. Get on with it, he seemed to say. The woods all around were quiet and watchful. I'm not sure if there's a reason to explore every tile. The two witches had been waiting for him. One was named Middle One, and the other was Eldest Lady. Yes, the Eldest Lady, most famous witch of Dudal. They were quick to get to the point. Might be Dudo. We like you. We do, more or less. So we'll have you. More or less. Pharaoh cawed. More or less, less or more. There's the chair, and there's the door. There's a house without a floor. There's an apple, there's its core. You're almost ready. You're young for a witch, but so is our last third. There's no shame in youth, said Eldest Lady, pinching Donald's cheek. It hurt. When I was young, I did lots of shameful things. You did them shamelessly. They all do shame with shame in their hearts. Then you're as good as young sister. No shame, no heart. Enough. Go curdle milk. Go kill swine. The middle one only hummed a little, and made no sign of going anywhere. Eldest Lady turned to the young witch. We need to talk about some things. You know the laws, yes? Remind me. Eldest Lady shook her head. 1. Do no harm to anyone in the coven, including yourself. 2. Not but death or unbinding dissolves a coven. 3. Witch's number must always be 3. Every witch knows the laws, but they're not just words. Without a third, Middle One and I do not make a coven. Our powers are weak, and we grow feeble. Did your visions show you what happened to Nen, the last witch we bound to us? So speaking to the kami, the forest spirits, I think was the vision she's referring to. But it didn't show us that she'd been killed. Just that someone wanted revenge for her being killed. It showed me that she'd been killed, but not how. As I expected, the circumstances of her death are hidden from our sight. They're hidden from yours as well. Nen, our sister that is gone. Gone for good, and likely gone bad by now. Was off picking Juneberries to make us tarts. But her tarts are ready, so she quit. No, middle one. She quit because she was shot. That would do it. When we found her, she was dead. She tried running home with an arrow in her side. An unkind fate. What kind of talk is that for a witch? Fate's not kind. Not unkind either. Do you know who killed Nen? A hunter. Not a witch hunter, mind you. A hunter of game. Why would anyone want her dead? Who knows? She was a witch, and witches are not always loved. And she was beautiful. Destruction always prefers beauty. What does this have to do with my coven binding? We want you to find the killer. More importantly, we want you to bring us the killer's blood. We'll use it for the binding. Yes, bring it. Bring it. Bring it on. What does their blood taste like? Bring it to us. Roused, Pharaoh stretched his wings and bobbed his head. No, middle one. There will be no tasting. Whose blood would you use if there is no one to avenge? If we had no one to avenge, said eldest lady, you wouldn't be here. So be it. Good. The arrow, middle one. Middle one held forth an arrow. Dried blood was on the point, shaft, and goose feather fleshing. Eldest lady spoke again. 3 hunters live in these woods. Magic tells me that one of them is responsible, but nothing more. Take the arrow and find whoever shoots with arrows of the same make. Kill them, and bring back a pint of their blood. The young witch took the arrow. Good. Just one more thing. Go into the backyard. There you'll find Nen's grave. Nearby is a little table with a seed, trowel, and some water. Dig a hole in the grave, plant the seed, and water it. The witches ushered Donald outside. Tall grasses and wildflowers had overtaken the witch's backyard. Abandoned charms, half-empty jars, and rusty tools were strewn through the grass. Near the border of the woods was a fresh grave dug between 2 vegetable patches, where tomato plants sprawled. A shaft of sunlight illuminated the plot, and a name crudely carved on the stone marker. Nen, it said. The eldest lady and middle one sent the young witch into their backyard. There rested the body of the witch who'd been shot. The young witch was told to plant a seed in the soil of her grave. There was something distasteful about the item's aura. It felt as unfriendly as a very clean home. Donald knew that feeling. It was a work of Jad Bazunta. No wonder the witches had left it out here to rust. Donald felt inclined to leave it too. Still, it might be useful. He gritted his teeth and pulled it from the ground. Good riddance, cried one of the witches. Donald looked toward the house and saw eldest lady and middle one peering out at him from a window. We aren't sorry to see that go, but why don't you quit poking around the yard? Plant the seed and be done with it. Sickle of minor advantage. So -1 to dexterity, +1 to strength, +1 attack bonus, 1 to 3 magic damage, 5% critical hit chance. So not every weapon crits for the same amount. The longsword crits for double damage. I think everything else... No, just the dagger and sickle crit for triple damage. Okay. I clicking past something by accident? Yeah, so when I click on it, it like double clicks and it clicks on the first option. Not sure how to avoid that. Alright, so it didn't happen that time. Only the trowel remained on the stool. Donald took the trowel. There was nothing on the stool now. And that happened over here as well. The amount of soil over the corpse looked rich and moist. The tomatoes were very red. Donald dug a hole in the soil. Donald placed a seed in the hole and covered it with loose soil. Donald poured the water from the pitcher. As Donald watched the soil drink it down, he heard the witches chanting from the house. More or less, less or more. Death's a house without a door. Life's a squatter, rank and poor. More or less, less or more. A shoot emerged, then a vine and leaves. Orange buds opened into flowers. One was so big it blocked the sun. Then the flowers wilted and fell like drapery over a huge object that hadn't been there moments before. The witches were silent. Donald felt their eyes on him. He waited. The drapery shriveled. Beneath, Donald could see mottled green and yellow. It moved. The rest of the flowers fell away. In their place stood an almost human figure dressed in a burlap jacket and carrying a staff. His chest rose and fell, but it made no sound of breathing. How could it? It had no nose, no mouth. It was a giant gourd. The witches came out of the house. This is my gift to you. His name is Not. He'll protect you. Not. That's its name. Yes, his name. A male gourd, but alas, vegetable from head to foot. He lacks the milk of human kindness. And the milk of animal kindness, said Middle One in a pained voice. It grew from the dead witch's grave. Is it? No, no. She's dead and gone. But a witch in a grave is still a witch in a way, until the world reclaims her body completely. Not couldn't have grown on a monk's grave. A holy man's all whole, and no seed. Enough, Middle One. Donald accepted the witch's gift. Good, good. Let him be your shield. His rind is thicker than yours. And what of your gift, Middle One? I'm human. My gift is meaningful speech. I was referring to the important gift, the one in your hand. Middle One giggled and held out an opal pendant. Middle One's pendant is a unique item that cannot be taken off once equipped. The options here are informed by choices you made during character creation. It changed with different builds. See the Young Witch's Guidebook for more information. Middle One will let you look at the pendant before you settle on it. You can't refuse the pendant, but you're not obligated to wear it. If you find games like this challenging, consider choosing the pendant of the storyteller. It's the equivalent of playing on easy mode. Watch it, it's peculiar. It has a little curse on it. I tried getting it out, but curses are like mildew, very stubborn. Think things through before you put it on. I'm not sure. I'm not worried about easy mode, so we'll avoid option 6. Maybe option 2. Donald studied it. Middle One told him it was called the Pendant of the Yeoman. Let's see what they do. So Pendant of the Gravedigger. Pendant of the Vagrant. Of the Thresher. The Scholar. Oh wow, okay, let's give you a ton of buffs. Yeah, let's go with the Yeoman. So +1 armor class, -1 all other defenses. Donald took the pendant of the Yeoman. We give you these things because the woods are dangerous. Not just hunters. The Congress of Moths is here too. The Congress of Moths is real. A pox on the ignorance of today's witches. Yes, yes. Real and dangerous. Jolly in murder, hateful in mirth. Reveling in mystery, doling out affliction to any who cross their paths. Why are they here? Their malice is fickle, their flights know no season. I'm ready, I'll be careful. Good. What's today's date, middle one? August 5th, morning. The breeze is in the southeast, and I anticipate fine weather for the next week. Return to us with the hunter's blood on the 11th of August. Do not dawdle. What happens if I take longer? Then you fail. Our Sabbath begins that afternoon, and the blood must bind you to us then or never. If you fail, we'll have to wait another year to complete the coven with someone else. We're old, Donald. The coven sustains us. Without it, we can't know that we'll last that long. Then I'll not fail. Come back at 7. You'll eat and sleep here. Be punctual. We're old and accustomed to our habits. Until then, you have the day. Use it. Don't linger here asking questions. So I'm curious if you can actually fail the quest, or if by not binding yourself to the coven, another path opens to you. The 3 witches went into the house, not followed close behind. The 2 older witches said farewell to Donald, as soon as he was standing outside. The grim-walking Gourd stood beside him. Pharaoh eyed the forest. That wasn't at all what Donald had expected. He thought back. Yeah, he had imagined the coven would be more perfunctory, a light obligation to endure as he learned. He had even hoped the witches might recognize his talent and treat him as an equal. Instead, he had been roughly welcomed, ordered to procure the blood of a murderer, and cast into peril. He looked at the August sun and how it lit the meadows through which he'd come. He looked at the woods and the night still lingering there. Then he set off. Eldest lady and middle one sent the young witch and Knot on a grim errand. To find the hunter who used goose-fletched arrows, and return with a pint of that hunter's blood before the afternoon of August 11th. They would use the blood to bind the young witch to their coven. Okay, you'll automatically be teleported back to the witch's house every morning at 7. You do not need to head back yourself. Okay, that might be a free way to get healing every day. Let's give him the sickle, I guess. I don't know if I want to equip this necklace or not. I think we'll leave it be for now. Alright, the map has been 2% explored. Off to a great start. We go down that way. So every step we take is a minute. I shouldn't be backtracking like I'm currently doing, but we're gonna head south. The path was narrow and led the witch over a gentle ridge. A delicate plant with cream-colored, bell-shaped flowers grew here. Donald recognized it as Bishop's satchel. The flowers had healing powers. Oh, you get experience instead. Yeah, he left it alone. Donald wandered through the woods, scrutinizing every shadow and turning at every sound. From what gloomy hill a dark grove would the Congress of Moths attack? He didn't have to wander long. As the path they were on narrowed, he and Knot both stopped suddenly, as if they had agreed to. Clouds passed over the sun. Stems and branches burst from the ground and widened around a gyre of colors that looked wrong amid the august trees. It was a door to the roots of the world, where namelessness had reared wickedness and joy, the strangling twins. Childish shapes came out brandishing cruel-looking weapons, eyes glittering like polished stones appraised the young witch. A being almost 8 feet high, but thin as a sapling nodded, holding his wig as he did. He tapped his rod against the portal. The Congress of Moths attacked. Defeat all enemies or end your turn with one of your characters occupying the portal tile. Gesture the Moth Rod is vulnerable to poison. Young Witch absorbs 1 spell point from the elf candle when destroying it. Wisdom bonus increases this amount. It's going to get Wicked Anne out. It hurt us, but we can heal up on our next turn. So Tall Grass gives you +2 armor class and minus 50% fire resist. I think it's worth summoning a Wicked Anne this early on because she is a permanent companion. Did we take more damage? Pretty sure they've missed every time. I thought I healed myself. There's a chest up there I want to get to as well. So he wasn't healed either, using the... I had to target yourself with it. So did I just never use my other blue flask? Oh, that's a dead end. I got a carbuncle. Enemy comes through the portal. Young witch prevails. When hurt, the creatures didn't seem to experience pain, and when they were destroyed, simply seemed to pop out of existence like bubbles. But as the last went down, Donald saw a tiny moth take its place after it vanished. He was catching his breath as it fluttered into the forest. Do we heal up after the fight? A clear and cold mountain stream, one of two that fed the swamp in the southern part of the forest, ran beside the path. A deer trail went down to the creek side. He followed it. It was muddy. Clumps of jewelweed grew half in and half out of the water. A frog dove into the water. Minnows darted around in the shallows away from the current. He climbed back up to the path. Got experience for that, right? Hey, what does a carbuncle do? So we throw it. It does 7 fire damage, must be adjacent to the target. Alright, Donald looked over the map. Control the map pointer the same way you control your character. If you want to close the map, return to the X. Light blue markers indicate points of interest. Red X's indicate points of interest that have to do with the main story. The yellow X indicates the location of DLC quest content. Alright, so maybe we should have gone east earlier, because it was probably going to be a dead end. No. Alright, we have a couple paths we can take. I think what I'll do is head east and see if we can circle back north and just clear up that corner of the map. Not sure if that's the best idea since we are currently on a time limit. I'm not sure how strict that time limit is. I do think either way for now, I'm going to call it here, and next time, continue exploring the forest. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.